Mabaruma, you looking good? Somebody tell me this is a green town? This is a green region. You know, I was so happy when I look back at the last 4.5 years. One of the happiest periods of my life was when Mabaruma became a town. When I used to come here when I was young, I said, this is a place so beautiful, so cool. How come it's not a town? It had to wait till I became president to make Mabaruma a town. This region, Barima-Waini, Northwest, 4 times the size of Trinidad and Tobago. Can you imagine? 4 times the size of Trinidad and Tobago. Everything you need you have here. You have minerals, you have gold, diamond, manganese, you have timber, you have vegetables. Why are you poor? You shouldn't be poor. You're poor because the RDC is holding you back. You're poor because PPP holding you back. That's the reason you're poor. Let me tell you this. I know the man who was telling people last year, do not get involved in government projects because the government is illegal. You know the man. It's the chairman himself. You know they try to sabotage Port Kaituma Amarin Hostel. They put candles to burn down the place. You know the sabotage in the hospital. They throw oil in the radiator. They're trying to blame the government for holding this region back. But it's the PPP holding this region back. Let me tell you something, Mabaruma. Let me tell you something, Region 1. You will never be rich and prosperous. You will never be happy with this RDC in place. You have to change the RDC. So what we going to do? We won't do like 2015. We have to do things different. Because you know what happened in 2015? In 2015, the PPP got almost double the votes of AP and UAFC. PPP got 6,228 votes, and AP and UAFC could only get 2,788 votes. A difference of over 3,000 votes. It breaks my heart. No, we can't lose Region 1 again. We can't lose Region 1. If the general and regional elections break my heart, you can imagine what happened in local government elections. I said we got this town council because I myself, when I get into office, within 10 months of becoming president, I hold local government elections with the PPP going over 20 years. I said this is a sure thing. I said the PPP going around this country, blocking up NDCs, installing IMCs. I said the people will know that they cannot develop these towns unless they control the municipalities. So you can imagine what happened in 2018 when the PPP get 1,006 votes in Mabaruma and the APNU and AFC together could only manage 749. We lost. We lost the region, we lost the town council. Don't break my heart again. Monday, do not break the president's heart. Go out in your numbers and take control of the Regional Democratic Council. Things will be different. We have to be determined. We have to make sure we have a full turnout, 90% turnout. You heard what Mr. Ambassador said? All your boyfriend, girlfriend, bring them out and let them vote. You hear me good? Yes. You think you hear wrong. But everybody who is adult and qualified must go out to vote and vote early on Monday, the 2nd of March. That is the day when Northwest will remember it took control of this great region once again. My brothers and sisters, my friends, you heard Mr. Ferdinand. He's not really a Calypsonian, he's a philosopher. And he tell you that politics is not magic. He said politics is mathematics. And unless you get the numbers right, 23 to 5 can't go, you're right. But you will not move this region forward unless you get the numbers right. And the numbers have to favor APNU, AFC. Because I am the man with the plans. I am the man with the plans. Let me tell you this. In 2015, when I swore in the regional chairman in July, just a couple months after he won the elections, I announced something called the Plan of Action for Regional Development, PARD. But in every region that the PPP won the chairmanship, in Region 1, in Region 2, in Region 3, in Region 5, in Region 6, and Region 9, they started to fight against APNU FC. But we cannot develop this country unless the RDC cooperates with the central government, unless the RDC cooperates with the municipality. The RDC is at war with the government. It is refusing to carry out the instructions of the government. The RDC is holding back the progress of Region 1. I say so without apology. And this plan of action for regional development is moving other regions along. Look at the road from the airport. Look at the road to Kumaka. We are making changes because the APNU FC cares about you. But the RDC cares about stopping APNU from looking good. That is all they're about. They don't want us to look good. So we have to do something. And that something starts on Monday the 2nd of March. First of all, let me tell you this. I'm concerned about youth unemployment. I have a plan of action for youth employment and youth empowerment. You know, in 1968, our party, our coalition, had to take over our government from the PPP, and a lot of young people were unemployed. So in 1968, we established something called the Youth Corps. You all remember the Youth Corps? Yes. But in 2000, as you know, the Youth Corps grew up and they called it the National Service, but it's still basically the Youth Corps. In 2000, when Jagdeo was president of this country, he shut down the National Service. So young people had nowhere to go. They went on the street, they had no jobs. Because Jagdeo shut down the Guyana National Service. When he come again and ask you why he shut down the National Service in 2000. But let me tell you this. A lot of young people did not get the training. They did not get the employment and the jobs that they needed. So 2 years ago, I had to set back up the Guyana Youth Corps. They broke him up, I fixed him back. When Ali come, and Jagdeo come, tell him why they break it up. And Granger had to come and fix back the Guyana Youth Corps. Right now, there are hundreds of young people in Kurukuru training, and every year, for the next 10 years, 1,000 young people will be coming out of the Guyana Youth Corps. We'll have 10,000 trained youth over the next decade. Thank you, President Granger. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Real leaders build, fake leaders break. Let me tell you, real leaders build up opportunities for young people. Fake leaders take away opportunities for young people. My friends, our administration, the APNU AFC, created something called SLED, the Sustainable Livelihood Entrepreneurial Development Program. Why? Because a lot of young men and women did not have jobs. And we created the SLED. And that SLED over the last 4 years has been able to put money into the hands of 2,500 young people. And I'm proud of SLED. I'm proud of the Ministry of Social Protection. I'm proud of the young people who receive grants. And there was one particular young woman who was not ashamed. She came out of the New Opportunity Corps in Ardeniming, on the Essequibo Coast. You know, we have a lot of training schools, the primary training schools at New Opportunity Corps, Ardeniming. You know that? You ever been there? And then they have the secondary training school at Camp Street. And then they have the university at Mazaruni. No, I don't want young people to go to those three schools. But this young woman who came out of the New Opportunity Corps said, I was in the New Opportunity Corps, but because of SLED, because I got a grant, I am now an independent businesswoman. That is what the government of Ghana is doing for young women in this country, SLED. And then we have the Hinterland Employment Youth Service, HUYS. Mostly for Amerindian children, but people living in the hinterland, whether they're Amerindian or not. But HUYS, over the last 4 years, was able to provide employment and profitable employment for 3,800 young men and women. So we are working for young people, and we will continue working for young people after the 2nd of March. I launched on the 1st of January this year something called the Decade of Development. APNU AFC not going away, you know. It stay be staying. Are we not going away? I don't think in terms of next year and year after. I think in terms of the next decade. I want you to understand, this is not a flash in the pan government. This is a government that plans for the development of the whole country. That is why we brought bicycles and buses into this region, because we plan for young people to go to school. I myself came up here and we launched 2 buses. We will launch more when the petroleum dollars start to flow. Children mustn't have to pay to go to school. If they're living in the river, we'll give them a boat. If they're living by a road, we'll give them a bus or a bicycle. But they must go to school. So our public education transportation service, what you all call the 5Ds, will ensure that children get to school. And the school feeding program, the civil servants call it the public education nutrition service. They don't call it school feeding no more. You know, when you join the civil service, you have to talk proper. So now the public education nutrition service, the PENS. But children mustn't go to school hungry. They can't go to school and lie down because they're tired and sleepy. When they go to school, we'll ensure that they get meals. And right now, we are feeding children throughout the hinterland. And when the oil and money starts to flow, we are going to give every parent who can show that he or she keeps his or her children in school. Only one family though. I know they got some men with 2, 3 families all about the place. Only one family. But if you can show that your children are going to school, you will be given a grant to keep that child in school. Education must pay, and that money will come from petroleum profits, because the petroleum belongs to you, not to some fat cats. It belongs to you, the people of this country. That's what we're going to do. With the public education assistance scheme, I want to see every child in school. We are giving out public service scholarships. And over the last 5 years, over the 1,888 students have gotten scholarships from the public service, particularly children from the hinterland. We have given 882 scholarships to children from the hinterland to attend higher education institutions. And the list goes on. And every young person must be able to look to APNU AFC as a government with cares for him or her. Not for election time. What I'm talking to you about didn't start 2 or 3 months ago. It started 2 or 3 years ago. Because we want to make sure that 10 years from now, the children who are passing national grade 6 will be going to University of Guyana. That is why I have announced that education will be free from nursery to university, and every child who qualifies will be able to go to the University of Guyana free of charge once the oil money starts to flow. Now, my friends, I love this region. I used to say, and I still believe, that Region 1 should be the #1 region in Guyana. Region 1 should be the #1 region. I verily believe that. But you know, we have some problems in this region. You know, in international relations, there's a saying, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your neighbor. And we have a neighbor on the west called the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And over the last few years, a lot of migrants have been coming from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. They need food, they need shelter. Where will we find the money to provide for them? Unfortunately, some of them are bad elements. Most of them are good. But they have some people called the sindicatos. You ever hear about the sindicatos? Well, you know, after that Spanish, you know what a sindicato is? A sindicato is a bad guy. So, I came up here. I went to Mabaruma, I went to Barima, I went to Whitewater, I went even in Region 7 to Kaikan, because we have to deal with this sindicato problem. I have a duty to protect the citizens of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. So we created a border village problem, a border village plan. And because of that, we rearranged the whole police force. What used to be called F Division, we created a special division based on Mabaruma. You now have your own divisional commander, senior superintendent, Blanham, Wendell Blanham. Don't call him Wendy, he's a big man. Wendell Blanham, he's a strong commander. And he is going to help to keep this region safe. So you have one commander working with one regional chairman to keep Barima-Waini safe. So we have a regional action plan for public security. And we will provide Mr. Blanham with all of the resources he needs to prevent syndicatos of attacking our residents in the Barima-Waini region. We welcome the Venezuelan migrants, but they're little enough, you know, they're enough. There are many of them. We are humanitarians, but at the same time, we must make sure that they have the resources to produce their own food. And when their country settles down, that they can go back home and live in the country of their birth. But while we are here, while they are here, let us make sure that our people are safe. And you now have a separate police division to ensure the safety of the residents of Barima-Waini. I've met with the officials of Whitewater and Barima and Kaikan. And we've discussed the enlargement of the community policing and the enlargement of the people's militia to make sure that they can protect you while your children and wives sleep in peace in this region. My friends, these are the things that APNU, AFC has been doing for you here in Region 1. And let me tell you this, and I want to say it over and over again, life will not get better for you until you get rid of the PPP RDC. The PPP has failed to provide leadership to this great region. You deserve better. The PPP has failed to provide stewardship for the people of this region. You deserve better. The PPP has failed to build partnerships with the residents and civil society in this region. You deserve better. The PPP needs to go, and go quickly. We in the AP and UFC are 6 parties. We don't believe in winner takes all. 6 of us have come together. The Alliance for Change, the Ghana Action Party, the Justice for All Party, the National Front Alliance, the People's National Congress, and the Working People's Alliance. 6 of us represent this whole country, from Daruka to Achiwib, from Oriana to Kaikan. We cover the whole country. And I ask you, whichever one of your partners you belong to, stay with AP and UFC, and we will provide a good life for you all. Young people, women, children, we are going to protect you for the next 10 years and beyond. The PPP belongs to the old confrontational days. It feels that the only politics is confrontational politics, is conflict, it's collision. But we believe in more cooperation. We believe in consensual politics. That we sit around a table, even if you come from AFC or PNC or Justice for All Party, let us sit around a table and resolve our differences for the common good, so that all the children of our great region, Region 1, will be able to benefit from our collective wisdom. Now, my brothers and sisters, we face a difficult decision on Monday, the 2nd of March. For many of you, I know from the green flags that you've already made a decision. But when I pass through here, I see a lot of German flags. I see a lot of black, red, and yellow flags. They got Germans here. There's a German flag. Our flag is the national colors of gold and green. But don't let the German flags confuse you. Jack Yo himself said people don't vote for flags. They vote for policies. They vote for plans. And I'm the man with the plan. I'm the man with the policies. So we build consensus, and they are building confusion. We build cooperation, and they build confrontation. We have a choice to make. Do you think, look at me good, look me good, look me good. You think I have 19 fraud charges hanging over my head? Not true, not true. Don't vote for fraud. You think I studied at the University of Iflat? No, I've studied Turkine. They don't got no University at Iflat. They don't got no University tuition. I'm a Turkine man. All my certificates, all the kagas, got the correct stamp. You think I ever get charged for fraudulent transaction at Bradoville? No way. Don't bring back the people. If they bring you back, you get another phantom. If they bring them back, you get another phantom squad. You get another skeleton factory. You get another fiber optic cable. So I'm asking you to think about what happened during those dark 23 years until you saw the light and the APNU AFC government took office in May 2015. Don't let us go back to those dark days. The PPP is becoming weaker with every election. Let me tell you this, I know they win here for the last time. They're not going to win again. Let me tell you this. In 2011, when Jack Yo ran his first election, PPP got 210,000 votes. But let me go back. When Janet Jagan was in charge of the PPP, she got 220,000 votes. In 2011, when Jack Yo took over the PPP, he got 210,000 votes. In other words, he dropped 10,000 votes. In 2006, how many votes the PPP got? 182,000. Oh boy, this man should be a genius, but he's going in the wrong direction. By 2011, how many votes do you think the PPP got? 164,000. So in other words, Janet Jagan gave him 220,000. And because of his management skills, by 2011, the 220,000 turned to 164,000. Can you imagine that? The PPP is losing votes, it's losing support. The votes are going south. And in 2020, on the 2nd of March, the votes will start to go underground. Because APNU AFC will win the next election. We will win in 2020. We are going to win in 2025. And we are going to win in 2030. My friends, believe me, the people of this great region will continue to be poor as long as there is a PPP-RDC. Production will continue to decline as long as there is a PPP-RDC. Prosperity will continue to elude you as long as there is a PPP-RDC. This is the year 2020. Next week is the month, March. Monday is the day, the 2nd, when we must go out there and reclaim Region 1 for APNU AFC. Forever! Backwards never! Don't vote for the fakes. Don't vote for the frauds. Don't vote for the failures. Vote for success. Vote for APNU AFC. Vote for the good life. The PPP is beatable. This region is winnable. Can we win this region? Will we win this region? Well, let us go out on Monday and win this region for our children and generations to come. Let us go out and win. Come on, get up and make it impossible to do.
We don't want PPP no more. Remember what PPP do. Jack the lucky lion, true and true. Urban hiding it, stop trying to fool me. PPP, yes, we shall have past you. We ain't forget all that you do. Stop trying calling me. Jack, you don't know what to do, so we pleading. Rasica give me no reason. When it was PPP season, they mash up the interest. People understand Guyana.